Welcome to Wispar Dark, where the shadows remember what you tried to forget. Tonight's story is called The Silent Child in the Family Photos Just Blinked, and it is the reason I will never look at another family photograph the same way again. It started in December 1998, when I was 14 years old with braces that could pick up radio signals and a bowl cut that deserved its own war crime trial. My sister Claire was 17 and already too beautiful for her own good. Mom wanted the perfect Christmas portrait in front of the tree, so she lined us all up like soldiers. Dad grumbled about the cost of film, but stood where he was told. Grandma sat dead center, like she was waiting for the photographer to bow. And standing in the very back row, half hidden behind Grandma's right shoulder, was a little boy nobody ever introduced. Pale as printer paper, black hair combed flat with water, white shirt buttoned so high it looked like it was choking him, hands folded in his lap so perfectly they might as well have been tied. He didn't smile, not even a twitch. When the flash went off, his eyes stayed open the entire time. Mom saw us staring and said the same thing she always said when we asked, quick and sharp like she was closing a drawer. That's just your quiet cousin. He doesn't like loud noises. And we were kids, so we swallowed it whole. Christmas came and went, and the giant walnut frame went up over the fireplace, and the boy stayed frozen in that same spot for years. Then 2009 happened, February 14th to be exact. Claire took the old Civic out after a fight with Mom, hit black ice on County Road 17, wrapped the car around an oak tree so hard the engine ended up in the back seat. She was gone before the ambulance even reached the hospital. Dad lasted 3 more years, died in his sleep watching a baseball game with the volume low so he wouldn't wake Mom. Mom fought lung cancer for 8 brutal months and lost last winter. The house went to me alone, no siblings left to argue over it, just a manila envelope with a key and 1 Polaroid inside. Same 1998 Christmas portrait, except every single face had been scratched out with something sharp, long, angry strokes that tore the emulsion. Every face except the boy's. For the first time in any picture I had ever seen, he was smiling, and it wasn't a nice smile. I should have thrown that Polaroid in the fire pit the second I saw it, but instead, I moved into the house 3 weeks later with nothing but boxes and a bottle of whiskey I never opened. The first few nights were nothing but silence, so thick you could lean on it. I spent my days sorting memories, keep, donate, burn, pretend this part of my life never existed. That's when I found the attic trunk. Heavy cedar, iron bands, padlock the size of my fist. The key was on the same thin gold chain Mom wore until the day she died. I carried the trunk downstairs because the idea of opening it in the dark under the eaves felt like tempting something I didn't understand yet. Inside were 39 photo albums, thick black pages, corners on every print, thousands and thousands of frozen moments. Every birthday, every vacation, every random Tuesday, Mom decided needed to be immortalized. And in every single one of them, no matter how crowded the frame, no matter how many cousins or neighbors or strangers were packed in, the same little boy was there. Sometimes only a pale smudge at the edge of the shot, sometimes a small hand resting on someone's shoulder who swore no child had been standing behind them, sometimes just his reflection in a window or a mirror when every adult present swore the room had been empty. Always the same white shirt, always the same black hair, always the same unbearable stillness. I started a notebook, page after page of dates and locations and how close he stood to the lens. By the end of the second week, the notebook was full and the positions in the photographs had started to change. It was slow, almost gentle, like something testing how much it could move before I noticed. A 1995 beach photo. He had been 20 feet behind us, building a sandcastle that wasn't there the day we took the picture. Next morning, he was 15 feet closer. The morning after that, 10. Then he was standing directly behind Claire, with his fingers almost touching her ponytail. I told myself it was temperature changes, humidity swelling the paper, my own mind finally cracking under grief. I drove the worst offenders to a professional photo lab in the city and watched the technician slide them under a loupe. He looked up at me with pity and said, "Sir, these are silver gelatin prints. Molecules don't crawl."
So I brought them home, and at 2 in the morning, I laid every single photograph out on the dining room table, like a madman trying to solve a puzzle with no edges. I worked under every lamp in the house, eyes burning, coffee going cold beside me. At exactly 3:33 a.m., every light in the house died at once. Not a flicker, not a pop, just instant darkness, so complete I couldn't see my own hand in front of my face. My phone woke up on its own and opened the gallery and started swiping through the family pictures faster than humanly possible. Hundreds of images a second, and in every single one, the boy was closer, 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 until the final frame froze on the screen. The original Christmas portrait. portrait. Every member of my family blurred into gray smudges like someone had taken an eraser to their souls. Only the boy remained perfectly sharp, face pressed against the inside of the glass as if the photograph had become a window and he was trying to push through. His mouth formed my name, no sound, just the shape of it, over and over again. Then the screen went black, and every light in the house flared back to life so bright the bulbs screamed. I looked down at the table and every print was suddenly empty where he had stood. Just background, just wallpaper and carpet and Christmas tree lights and empty air. But the pictures still hanging on the walls still had him, and in every single one, he had taken another step forward. I stopped looking at photographs after that. I draped bed sheets over every mirror in the house because glass had started to remember things it shouldn't. 3 nights ago, I woke at 3:17 a.m. to the sound of small bare feet walking across the attic floorboards directly above my bed. Slow, deliberate steps, back and forth, like a child pacing while he waits for permission to come downstairs. I grabbed the aluminum baseball bat from under the bed and climbed the pull-down stairs with my heart hammering so hard I could taste metal. The attic was cold enough to see my breath. In the center of the floor sat the massive walnut frame that used to hang over the fireplace. Someone or something had carried it up here while I slept. The glass was cracked in a perfect spider web exploding from the center, and standing in the real attic, not inside the photograph anymore, was the boy. Same white shirt now yellowed with age, same black hair, same unbearable stillness. He raised one small hand and pointed to a corner of the attic I swear had been empty the day before. A second trunk, smaller, newer, locked with a 4-digit combination padlock. He spoke for the first time and his voice sounded like dead leaves scraped across concrete. Open it. My fingers knew the code before my brain did, 02141999, the day Claire died. Inside were 7 unmarked VHS tapes and a camcorder so old the plastic had gone brittle. Tape 1 was labeled in Mom's handwriting, his first birthday. I carried everything downstairs, hands shaking so badly I almost dropped the camcorder twice. Found Dad's old RCA cables in a drawer, hooked it up to the living room television like I was defusing a bomb. February 14th, 1999, exactly 1 year after the Christmas portrait. Blue balloons, homemade banner that read, "Happy First Birthday, Elias," chocolate cake with a single candle, Mom singing off key, Dad behind the camera, Claire holding a baby I have absolutely no memory of ever existing. Pale skin, black hair, eyes that never quite focused on anything in the room. Mom kept coaxing smile for Mommy, Elias, smile for the camera, and the baby never once changed expression. At exactly 9 minutes, the tape glitched hard, snow and static. When the picture returned, Claire was crying. Mom looked like she had aged 10 years in 10 seconds. Dad zoomed in on the baby's face and whispered, "He's looking at something behind us." The rest of the tapes documented 1 year each. The boy aged exactly 12 months every 12 months, never ate on camera, never spoke, never blinked once. Tape 6 was filmed 7 days before Claire's accident. Claire alone in her bedroom talking to empty air. "If you touch my family, I swear," the boy stepped into frame. Same height he'd always been. White shirt now had a dark, rust-colored stain at the collar. Claire didn't even flinch. She just looked defeated. "Fine, take me, leave them alone." Then static. Tape 7. February 14th, 2009. Police dash cam recovered from the wreck. Claire driving way too fast on an icy road, crying, checking the rearview mirror every 3 seconds, passenger seat empty, but in the reflection of the windshield, the boy sat directly behind her, hands resting on the headrest, watching. 11 minutes in, Claire screamed, "I said I'd go with you, stop it." The car left the road, screen black. 30 seconds later, emergency lights painted the wreckage red and blue. Paramedics pulled Claire's body from the driver's seat. Back seat perfectly empty, seatbelt never touched, except for one single frozen frame where the boy sat untouched by the crash, looking straight into the dash cam and blinking slow, deliberate, like he had been practicing for 11 years and finally nailed it. That was the last image on the last tape. I haven't slept since then. Last night, the footsteps stopped pacing the attic. They started down the stairs, one small, deliberate step at a time. I locked the bedroom door, shoved the dresser against it, wedged a chair under the handle like that would make any difference at 3:33 a.m. My phone lit up again. Lock screen was now the front-facing camera in live view. The boy was sitting at the foot of my bed, watching me pretend to sleep. He raised one finger to his lips. "Shh." shh, then crawled forward until the lens couldn't see him anymore. The red recording dot is still blinking. He is breathing right beside my ear now. Slow, patient, cold, like winter air dragged across. Graves. He says it's time I finally remembered his name. He says he's been family all along, and the worst part is I do remember. Every time I close my eyes, I see the 1998 Christmas portrait the way it actually was that day. 5 people in the room when the shutter clicked. Mom, Dad, Claire, Grandma, and me standing in the back row wearing the white shirt buttoned to the top. Pale skin, black hair, hands folded too perfectly. I never smiled, not once. Not in any picture because some children are born silent, and some children are born to wait 27 years until the last living person who forgot them finally looks back. He is standing behind me right now. I can feel his small, cold hands on my shoulders exactly the way they were in the photograph. He is leaning in. He is whispering the name I buried the day I learned how to forget. And when he finishes, I am going to have to blink back. This is Wispar Dark. If you ever notice an extra child in your old family photos, don't ask who he is. Just pray he never learns your name, because the silent child in the family photos just blinked, and now he won't stop until you do too.